PremiumSeats.com.
I'm Darren Haynes. Catch my take on sports right here on WUSA 9.
Stand at the podium and guarantee the American people they'll never hear Donald Trump utter the N-word on a recording in any context?
I can't guarantee anything, but I can tell you that the president addressed this. Look, I haven't been in every single room. I can tell you the president has addressed this directly. He's addressed it directly to the American people, and I can tell you what the focus and the heart of the president is, and that's on.
So that was White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders yesterday saying she can't guarantee that President Trump never said the N-word on tape. Now, the question came after Omarosa Manigault-Newman says she's heard a tape where the president uses the N-word. A former White House aide told the Associated Press she will not be silenced.
Donald Trump brags about using litigation to intimidate people. He's trying to silence me. He's afraid of what I will share, and that's why you see these actions from Donald Trump. There are very distinct ways that we're different. One, I want to see this nation united as opposed to divided. I don't want to see a race war as Donald Trump does. I'd like to see things happen for the communities of Chicago and Flint, as we talked about on the campaign.
Now, Omarosa says she has tapes and evidence to provide special counsel Robert Mueller. That's a whole other realm of information. Let's bring in Christine Embro with the Washington Post to help us break down what we've been hearing this week from Omarosa. Christine's a columnist for the Post, and I want to read the last line of your column because I think it helps to summarize kind of everything that you wrote the best. You said, "We don't even need to read it, Omarosa's book, to know he, Donald Trump, is unhinged. She's already brought out some of his finest work." What do you mean by that?
Well, the title of my column was actually "The Apprentice Reveals the Master." And what is really most interesting to me, at least, about this sort of Omarosa blow-up is that she doesn't need to do very much at all. Simply her presence on her press tour, using the same tactics that the president has used, has made the president explode. And in doing so, he's revealed his racist impulses, his poor management decisions, his lack of interest in diversity of any kind. He is just exposing himself in response to her provocations. She's done really well.
In addition to that, I mean, he is a master of media. He was doing that well before his political career. So he's played into, right, this narrative that she's trying to create, and actually is helping her with her book and press tour. Because if he was just silent, not saying anything, we'd hear one side and that'd be it, right?
Yeah, it's actually kind of fascinating because you're right. Donald Trump is great at doing this. He is a master of media. He knows how this works, whether it's, threatening people with tapes, which he has done many times before, if you remember James Comey, or making outlandish statements that can't be proved. He's also done that before. But the fact that Omarosa seems to be doing it well enough to get his goat, I mean, he's tweeted about her like 8 times, I think, in the past week. He's going to make her book a bestseller, and I'm surprised that he's being taken in by it.
Right, number 2 right now on Amazon's list of bestsellers, and it's only been for sale for a couple of days. So the argument that you're making is she's using the same lessons learned from him against him.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to watch, but unfortunately we're learning a lot about the president while she does so.
Now, that's one of the main questions that we have to discuss. Are we learning a lot about the president? Is she trustworthy? I mean, transparently, you can see she's out there on this press tour making these wild statements, whether they're true or not, to kind of promote the book, to sell it, to make money. So do we believe her, and why?
Well, again, that's not really the point. She was the 3-time Apprentice guest. She's already sort of played herself as a villain. People know that she's not necessarily trustworthy. But all of the things that she says about President Trump, unfortunately, ring true to people. And that's why they seem to be hitting home. I mean, Sarah Huckabee Sanders just today, refused to guarantee that there wasn't, a tape of Donald Trump saying the N-word floating out there, which is really astonishing. But again, it does jive with his personality, so it's not that hard to trust.
And Christine, last thing real quick, what is your gut take? Do you think this book will change anyone's mind about Donald Trump?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, it does just highlight Donald Trump's behavior, the things that he has been doing, the things that he will continue to do. It's more evidence, and it's interesting to